This is The Recap, a weekly reflection on the sermons of Fellowship Baptist Church in Mainville, Ohio, seeking to help you make Jesus essential in every aspect of your life. I'm your host, Brent Wilson, with the preacher of this week's sermon, Ryan Land. Ryan, how's that seat over there feel?
I don't like it,
You don't?
actually. No.
I kind of like being over here.
I want there to be a jump cut, and then we're just switched because I don't like sitting in this spot, actually. I don't know why I don't feel this way in that chair, but it's like I really feel like my microphone is really constraining me. Like I feel like I'm in a roller coaster.
Well, you used to have it on your left side and your right-handed, maybe.
Yeah, no, that is true. And so I don't know. I just feel like I just sit like this.
You also have it pretty close to you. You could,
No, I like it to be close. I like for people to be able to. It's like I'm whispering in their ear.
Yeah. I'm gonna ditch this pillow.
It's like I'm yeah. See, and I love the pillow. I had to put the pillow in my chair.
Yeah.
So it's like this is why we just stick to our chairs. This is why you don't change a good thing. You just keep going. And you don't change.
Don't mess it.
Yes.
It's always worked. Why we gotta change it?
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. That's right. Well, let's start off with a question.
Okay. Let's do it. I sounded kind of bored. I didn't mean to. No, I love a question.
Yeah. We're talking about the church this week. The church we're all collectively a part of. So
maybe
that many of us are. So what is another group, organization, team, collection of people who get together and call themselves something? That if you could be a part of any one of them, which one would you be a part of?
The Wu-Tang Clan.
I don't know what that means.
Just kidding.
I don't know what that is.
It's a rap group.
Oh.
I don't know why I said that. It's just a shocking answer. I almost said the Beastie Boys, which is also a good one.
Ooh.
But do you know the Beastie Boys?
I didn't know the Beastie Boys.
What about the Beach Boys? No, I'm just saying bands. Teams I could be a part of. I don't know. That's a good question. Because you could go sports team, but you could go like I'd love to be on the Justice League.
Oh yeah,
that's a team.
Yeah. Would you be like the water boy or something?
I'd be the guy in the chair. I'd be like watching all the cameras. And I'd be
the guy in the chair. Everybody needs a guy in the chair.
Everybody needs a guy in the chair. And so I'd be that.
Okay.
I'd up in their like satellite headquarters or whatever. But I mean, obviously, I'd love to be a Dallas Cowboy. There's nothing better than being the part of the team that has the longest drought of appearance in a
is that true?
Divisional or in a conference championship? Yeah, that's true.
Wait, the longest what
drought of appearing in a conference championship in the NFL?
Wow,
I believe that's true. At least in the NFC, it's true. Every other last year when the Commanders made it all the way to the NFC Championship, they broke their streak, which was their drought, which was longer than the Cowboys.
So now
the Cowboys, it might be in the NFL, but it's definitely in the NFC, have the longest.
Well, I'm just thinking of a team like the Jaguars have never made it, but they're a younger team.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the last time the Cowboys made it to the conference championship, the Jacksonville Jaguars didn't exist.
Or the Panthers.
Or the
Texans.
Yeah.
But the Oilers.
Titans. But the Oilers may have existed. That far back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But also, I had another one. Oh, I was just going to say I've been playing a lot of Madden recently to get ready for the football
Jamar
season.
Chase, 99 Club. Shout out, Jamar.
That's right. Did you see what Joe Burrow said?
I saw his reaction.
He said, "Nice."
Oh yeah.
But I created my player and I actually imported him from the college football video game, and I got drafted second overall by the New Orleans Saints. So I've kind of been like in a New Orleans Saints kind of like mindset recently.
According to Colin Cowherd, going to be one of the top 2 worst teams in the league.
The top 2 worst. Is that really the top?
The bottom 2 worst.
The Browns?
The Browns and the Saints, according to Colin Cowherd. Sorry, Browns fans.
Browns sponsored by Dude Wipes. Come on.
That's real?
That's real. Come on. Come on now.
What's yours? It ain't worth however much money they're giving you.
What's yours?
Well, certainly, I'd like to be on the Panthers.
Pound on, baby.
Keep pounding.
Oh, sorry. Keep pounding. I can never remember. I really thought I was saying the right one.
Yeah. Now, I would say I'd rather be a part of the Avengers.
Oh,
personally,
no.
or the X-Men.
I do love the X-Men.
So,
but I'm not a mutant. You've got to be a mutant to be part of the X-Men.
In this hypothetical,
I guess.
I don't know. You might be a mutant.
Maybe. I do love the X-Men. Of all the superhero teams, they're my favorite, far and away.
But then I would say maybe.
Wait, why would you? Wait, sorry. Before you move on, why would you rather be an Avenger than on the Justice League?
It's just I don't know. It's just I feel like they're a better team. I feel like the Justice League is kind of like disheveled.
No.
Like you got Batman.
Absolute opposite.
Batman's ready to take them all out. He's got a plan to kill all of them.
He's not ready to. He just knows how. He's prepared.
Yeah.
No, you absolutely have that backwards.
Okay.
The Justice League is cohesion.
Okay.
The Avengers is every Avengers storyline is like, here's why we're all fighting, and here's why we're all. There's literally one of the most famous Avengers storylines. It's called Civil War because they're all fighting each other.
That's true. That's true. I just like the characters better, I guess.
Wrong.
But then the other one I would say, particularly if I could go back to the 90s.
The Cowboys. Because they were good.
No. The Backstreet Boys.
Ooh. You go Backstreet over NSYNC?
Every time.
Wait, Justin Timberlake. Backstreet?
NSYNC.
No, I'm going NSYNC.
No.
Yeah. Wow. Man, I wonder what all that's like. So you're Avengers, I'm Justice League.
Yeah.
You're Backstreet, or you're NSYNC. I'm NSYNC, you're Backstreet. Yeah. Whoa. What's that guy's name? Aaron Carter. His brother was in the Backstreet Boys. Nick Carter.
Yeah, who did a Christian album for a while.
What?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, he had a Christian album.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's just keep talking about this.
90s, best time in life. Peak culture. Peak American culture.
Culture peaked. Man, I did see a thing the other day that was like, can you believe these 3 movies were in theaters at the same time? And it was like Pulp Fiction, The Shawshank Redemption, and Forrest Gump.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
What a run.
The other team from the 90s I don't want to be on is the Bulls.
Oh, yeah. Duh. Who wouldn't? Or like the Dream Team, like the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
That Jordan was on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, the 90s were awesome.
It was the best time to be alive.
I loved being 4.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about Jesus, I guess. Talk about the Bible. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the church. Your big point here is
the Holy Catholic
the
Church.
Holy Catholic little c church. You say the church is God's primary plan for reaching the world. You talked about how it is the culmination of all that God was doing. Mm-hmm. Anything you would say extra about that, of just the building to that moment?
Well, I think, and we're gonna get into this, but just thinking about how, like, God is not. What's that? I think it's a DC Talk song. God is doing a new thing.
Yeah,
is that DC Talk?
I think so.
It's like it's actually God's not actually doing a new thing. He's doing the same thing he's always been doing. And so I think that when it comes to application, I wanted to set that up first, because when you actually think of the church as the culmination, the climax of God's plan, is that the whole biblical story is about him redeeming for himself a people.
Yeah. And
the church is the final form of that, the final chapter of that. Mm-hmm. Then that changes how we think applicationally about the church. It changes our relationship with the church. It's no longer just the thing we do, it's like, oh, this has greater consequence than I have ever thought of. And so that's where I really wanted to start the sermon, was like, hey, this is God's primary, like the church is God's plan A for the world. We're not just like here hanging out. We're not just here because we all like the same stuff. Like, we're here because God, throughout all of history, has been creating a people.
So let me ask you this is a curveball question.
Okay. I love a curveball.
Do you think that when you understand that the church is plan A, that should have a bearing on your theological decision around dispensationalism?
God. Man, dispensationalism a hot topic right now.
I know.
Yeah, I think so. Because
dispensationalism is how is a particular view about how we understand Israel as God's people and the church as God's people. And now, is it Israel? Is it church? Is it both? How do we think about that? So dispensationalism is one position that more focuses on Israel still existing, whereas covenant theology is like, no, Israel, the church has taken that place.
Yeah.
So.
I think here's one of my main issues with dispensationalism as a whole. Well, one, it's new, but also
if it's new, it ain't true.
Yeah, it's like just very recent theological development, but also it's too narrow in its scope. Like to say that God's plan in the Old Testament is to have a people that are Israel. But if you read the Old Testament, that's not the case because people are foreigners, sojourners, strangers are supposed to be folded in to Israel. And so even in the Old Testament, God's covenants were not just to those who are ethnic Jews, which we also understand because of people like Ruth.
Yeah.
Right?
A
Moabite, right? Or Rahab, right?
Or Abraham.
Yeah. So predating Israel.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's where I struggle. And so I think it's too narrow in its scope, is that God is redeeming a people for himself, and it is Israel. I think that's too. I think it's enough to say, and more true to say, God is redeeming a people for himself. And at one point in time, the nation of Israel was the scope by which God was relating.
People were being brought into Israel,
but it wasn't just ethnic Jews, and so. And obviously now the scope is different since, Galatians 3:16, right? It's like actually the promises were always not to the many, but to the one, talking about Jesus. And so always the plan was not for an ethnic people, but for a people that were brought near to God through Jesus.
Well, and the promise to Abraham being to bless all the nations.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Not one nation.
Yeah.
And so, I do think that has a bearing on it, that the church's plan A, Israel was a stepping stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Ethnic Israel, I would say now we are Israel. All who are in Christ are Israel, the people of God, in the spiritual sense. Some people really don't like that. But I think it's true.
Especially now with all the conflict going on, it's like I said to someone the other day, I was like, look, if missiles start flying at Jerusalem, like that's sad, but I'm not going to be like, it's happening the second because I actually don't think like someone, the person I was talking to, like, that's God's place. And I was like, it's not. All of reality, all of the earth is God's place now.
It's interesting using that framing of God's place. Graham Goldsworthy, an Australian theologian, says the kingdom of God is defined by God's people under God's rule in God's place. And so right now, what is God's place? It's the church. It's the hearts of believers. And one day it'll be the whole earth.
This is the other thing. You never see God's covenant place or his rule or his people constraining. You only see it expanding. Would you agree with that? Like, so say it again. Adam and Eve. So you never see God's people, God's place, God's rule. You never see it constraining, like constricting. I don't know.
Like getting smaller?
Shrinking. You only see it expanding.
I only thought it was the exile.
But even then, right, the national people, but then you read stories about Daniel. Right, and the influence.
Oh yeah.
And so even
it's certainly always moving forward.
Right.
Yeah.
But so it's like you think the reason I said that was you think you got Adam and Eve, a particular rule in a particular place, and then you get to Noah, and then you get to Abraham, and then you get to the Exodus. Right, we're going to a particular place, a particular people, and so it's always getting bigger in scope, not smaller.
Yeah.
I don't mean in number.
That's what was throwing me.
Yeah. I simply mean in influence or in.
Yeah. It's moving forward.
Yes.
It's never taking a step back.
It's never like, okay, it was available to a wider net of people, and now it's only available to a more narrow set of people,
tracking.
which I think is what you have to say from a dispensationalist perspective, when you get to eschatology,
Yeah.
it's like we've got to have this time that's just for Israel, a narrower scope, even though God has widened the scope, which they would agree with.
Yeah.
But you've got to carve out a piece for this narrower people, and I just don't see that biblically. I don't ever see God working that way.
Yeah, that's good. Well, let's ask this question, and I may ask some follow-ups around this. What is the church?
So one of the definitions that I told Brent, I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I don't think this is helpful for people. It's like the church is a gathering of believers where there is polity and two sacraments or whatever. Like that's what a church is.
They covenant together, practice two sacraments and two ordinances and the two offices.
Yeah, but I disagree with that. I don't think that's that's maybe a church. I actually think you can be a church and have more than two ordinances and more than two offices.
Can you have less?
No. Maybe.
What other offices might one have? Like if they have a bishop? Yeah.
Yeah.
But so maybe more, but not less, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think if there's a church without deacons, I'd be like, I don't know that y'all aren't a church.
Well, maybe they're like, I think about a church plant, and it's like they don't have deacons yet, but they have the office. There's no one in it.
No, I think if you just didn't have deacons at all,
this is the classic Baptist definition of a church, by the way, of a local church.
Mm-hmm. So, but I think back to your original question, we'll get there. Yeah. The original question, what is the church? I would just say it is the collective of those who have professed faith in Jesus. All those who have been saved by the work of Jesus. That's the church.
Okay. All times, all places.
Yeah.
All people. Okay. So that's the universal church.
The Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Little c.
Do you know the etymology of? I don't. So
of church
of the Catholic part of that.
No, I don't.
That'd be interesting. We need Nathan. Nathan, look that up for us.
He's on his run, dude. He can't look something up.
He can stop on the walking part.
No, I don't know the
that'd be interesting.
The breakdown.
But it does mean universal. We know that. Just curious.
Well, that's why I didn't have time to talk about this, but that's why the church called itself
the Catholic Church.
The Catholic Church. That's what they were communicating, was we're universal.
Yeah.
The problem became is when theology became so bad, or practice became so bad, people had to leave and start other churches.
So
they were no longer Catholic.
I'm curious about the first church division is with the Orthodox Church, the first split. Do they call themselves Catholic before or after that?
I don't know for sure. I wanted to say before. They certainly have the markers of Roman Catholicism.
Yeah, like they get bishops and stuff like that.
They have bishops. They have a papacy. They have icon veneration. That's actually what one of the first main splits is over, is icon veneration. It's even actually earlier than the Orthodox split. Oh, I believe.
Well, because the Orthodox do the icon stuff.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's after.
The thing I thought I split over was the filioque clause and baptism.
Baptism.
They want to dunk the babies.
Usually it's baptism or communion. So
yeah.
I don't know if they use that term before or after. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Okay, so universal church is
also hard because of translation, and they weren't speaking English.
Yeah. Catholic originally a Latin word?
Probably. It probably has a Latin root.
Yeah. So universal church, all people.
Probably not a Greek root.
All people who are saved.
Yeah.
A local church, therefore, being would you agree, is an expression, a local expression of the larger body?
Yeah.
We all belong to the larger body, but we only locally belong to the local body. And so then what is, how do I know if I'm just in my house with some friends and we're doing a Bible study, is that a church or not? And how do I know if a local church is a local church or if it's just a Bible study?
So great. I don't know if I'm going to go so far as to say there's two offices, right? But I do think there is, in any sort of church, there is polity. Like we see that even in the book of Acts. Mm-hmm. Do we know exactly? There's arguments over what exactly their polity is. but they have
And by
a
polity,
leadership structure,
a
governing structure.
Yeah.
There are pastors or there are leaders.
There's spiritual authority on some level.
Yes. And so I think one of the problems with, but like house church movement, it was very popular. I don't know how
Still in China.
I don't know how popular it is. Well, that's because they have to. They're not allowed. But I mean, even America, there was, like Francis Chan was like, there was like a big
there's
movement.
there's a few still doing it.
But there's still polity, right? There's leaders. And so I think sometimes if there's not, it's like, hey, we're all just buddies getting together doing a Bible study. It's like no one actually has authority.
Even if you're the Bible study leader.
Yeah, like you don't have spiritual, pastoral authority.
Yeah.
And I think, there has to be some and it's always good to write these things down, which is why we have, church constitutions or covenants or whatever. And so processes and which is, again, we see in the book of Acts, right? It's, when we can't do something, we've got to find someone that can. So that's how, deacons deacons start. But then also I do think, and this gets tricky because I think people do this erroneously, but the ordinance, like the presence of the ordinances, baptism and the Lord's Supper. But people are like, we can do that. I'm like, you actually can't. You actually shouldn't do that.
Okay, so let me say a couple of things, and maybe we can go down that rabbit trail too. So it's got to have some sort of spiritual governing authority of some sort, pastors, some sort of office, and then therefore it's also has cognitively covenanted together to make this structure.
Yeah,
and have said together, we are a church.
Yeah,
well, they've said we're more than a Bible study. We've said no, we are a church, and therefore we're going to begin to function like one, and we're going to have baptism, we're going to have the Lord's Supper, and we're going to have some sort of spiritual hierarchy and structure.
Yeah. And so people have this misnomer about this misunderstanding about the church in Acts. It's like, but they were just like getting together at each other's houses and reading the Bible and singing together, and that's, it's like, but that's not true. It's like the earliest documents we have of the church are actually like process documents. So we have this book called The Pastoral Rule, I think is what it's called. And it's essentially, here's the process by which you need to disciple people, catechize people, and then baptize people. And it's like, like instruction.
Yeah.
Like make them wear this, baptize them in this kind of water.
Running cold water.
Cold running water, naked. Then
naked.
Yep, and then they get up and they put on like a white.
Then they do that.
Like a white.
We're bringing
robe.
that back, y'all.
We are not. We are not. So it's like the early church was not just like, everybody come and just, whatever, and we're gonna get together at the house. Like, no, structure. Very strict process of membership of. Well, you taking the Lord's Supper, of who can be baptized, what you have to say when you're baptized, all those things.
You see it in like Titus 1, for example, where Paul is like, you have gone around from town to town raising up elders, the very thing I long for you to do, sort of thing. And so you see them training and calling out Pastor Timothy, right? So this guy's been trained and called to be a pastor.
And so I think the covenanting together, saying, hey, we are a church, which means we're going to have processes. We're going to have leadership. We're going to have direction and vision
and the ordinances
and belief, right? Like here are the things we believe about
doctrinal statements.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the markers. These things are that this thing has become a church.
How many markers would you say there are of a healthy church?
9?
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Comment if you got that reference. So then we don't spend a lot of time on this, but you would say that the ordinances, that is baptism and the Lord's Supper, should only be practiced within the context of the local church.
Please, for the love of God, literally, I'm not using it flippantly, by his love, stop taking the Lord's Supper at your wedding. Please, stop baptizing kids at youth camp. Don't do that. It's bad. Well, so that's not what it's for.
A recent example of this was Ohio State. So Ohio State University had some sort of revival-esque thing. People are getting saved. That's good, right? They're sharing the gospel. People are getting saved. It's moving them through the team. We love that. That's great. But then they started baptizing people just I don't know if I would say willy-nilly, but maybe they all had really great conversations and they were really believers and they baptized them.
Good, better, best, right?
Yeah.
And so I actually don't even know that this falls into a good category.
Yeah.
Because this is what, anytime I do a baptism interview with someone at our church, I ask them, who's baptism for?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll either say me, they'll say it's for me, or they'll say it's for God. And I'll say those things are certainly true, but it's also for us because you are making a declaration, but we're also making a promise to you. Like we are covenanting with you to raise you up in the way of the faith. When you do that in a vacuum, when you do that on a football field outside of the extension of a local church, what are you baptized into? Nothing. And so there's no there's no like you're not actually a part of any like expression of people.
Yeah, you're part of maybe the universal church, but that's not been expressing. And so we would also,
it's a low view of what is happening both in baptism and in the church.
And we would say that the church is the one who is conferring baptism on someone.
Yes.
That is why it doesn't matter if me as the pastor does it or the dad or the mom or whoever does it. Or recently a sister does it.
That is why it does matter that they are a member of our church.
Yeah.
We don't just let anyone.
Or an authorized person at least.
Right. So
an authorized agent.
Yeah, under the authority of our elders.
Yeah.
And the same thing's true of the Lord's Supper, right? This is not something we do individually. This is not something we do, like at a wedding I don't even know why people do it at their wedding. Like it feels Christian. I don't know.
No. Catholics do it at the wedding. That's probably where it came from.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. But it's like we do this together as a family, as a localized
as often
expression.
as you meet together.
Yes. And so, I'm. Those things are not for you.
They're for us.
Yeah,
they're for y'all.
They're for all y'all.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
So, sorry if I offended you by how worked up I got about that, but no. I think it's important, and I just really want people to have a higher view of these things. I think when we and I'm not sure where you're at on all this, but it's like when we run around talking about like, oh, it's just a communion, just a symbol, baptism, just a symbol. It's like I actually think
I don't use that language. I try not to.
We're like degrading the importance of what's happening because I don't think it's just anything.
Yeah.
Right. It may be a symbol. I think that's a fair theological position. It's not my position, but I think it's fair. But it's not just anything. Oh, it's just this. It's like no. If it's a symbol of something really important. And so don't treat it as just like, oh yeah, it's whatever. Yeah. It's just a symbol.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, there's this great chapter in this book called "Nothing Buttery" that I like about. And it's basically
what is it? Is that an orthodoxy?
No, it's in "Live Like a Narnian." Oh, and he's talking about like how things aren't. That's nothing but this. Right? It's just this, just a sign, just a symbol. It's like nothing is the case. Things are so much bigger and vaster, more complicated, and than that. And so, yeah, I try never to say it's just this, because it is quite special and commanded by God, and it's a covenant sign and all these things. And so I agree. Let's not have a low view of the thing. Let's have the highest view possible of the thing.
Last thing I'll say about the Ohio State thing.
Yeah.
And I think this is true. And we're seeing a lot of this, like, oh, there's revival going on.
Yeah.
Revivals aren't seen in the moment. They're seen 15 years later. And when the effects of them start to become realized. And the number one indicator of revival is not conversions. It's churches. It's like, are people coming to faith and being connected to the people of God in a local church?
Yeah,
and then are those churches healthy? Are they on mission? Are they multiplying those things?
Yeah.
So that's how you see revival.
Yeah.
It's not baptisms, it's churches.
Yeah. Two things I'll say. One, people have asked me before, like, hey, I want to get baptized. Great. We would talk through that. But hey, can we just like do that one-on-one, like down in the river, just me and you and maybe a couple friends or something? And I always like, no. The other thing, though, I would say is, you talked about when I was talking about, we were talking about the Orthodox Church breaking off, and you said communion. It's like, when you look at the Reformation, there are two things that really, kind of three, but two main things that divide every church, and it's baptism and the Lord's Supper. It's different views of
what's the third one?
Church to government.
Yeah.
Is the King of England in charge, or is the Pope in charge, or the people in charge?
Presbyters, yeah.
But it's really baptism and the Lord's Supper, and the differing views of those things that really create what I think are there's really five denominations, and everything else is just a subheading under that, right? So it's like non-denominational churches are Baptist churches. Like they functionally, historically speaking, they're Baptistic in their theology, and so I think really
they're so individual, they're so independent, which is a Baptist distinction. That they're like, we're not even part of a denomination.
It's like, well, you kind of are.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, we got to move on. So that's the church. The church's people. That's your next point. Through the blood of Jesus, you're made holy before the Lord. Talk to me about the church's people.
So this is where I kind of defined holy and Catholic. And so, first, holy is not just that it is that they're set, because holiness just means set apart.
Yep.
So God is holy because he is set apart from everything else.
Kind of like, would you say, I just thought about this. Would you say it's kind of like your grandmother's china? It's set apart from the rest of the dishes. It's put over here in this special place. It's set apart as distinct from the rest.
No.
Why not?
Because there are other dishes in the world.
There are other people in the world.
No. I'm talking about God. 1 second. So God is not like the dishes because there are other dishes.
Yeah.
God in his holiness is 100% unique.
Right.
Nothing like him. None like him. So then we as a people are made holy. One, in sort of a literal sense, because we're set apart from the world. But more importantly, we're holy because Jesus, in this doctrine we call union with Christ, because we have been made. How do I want to say this? Because we have been made one with Jesus through the power of the Holy Spirit, and by Jesus' life, death, resurrection, ascension, we are made one with him. All of the aspects, I don't even know how I want to say this. It's not all the aspects, right? It's like we don't become omniscient because we have union with Christ. But when God looks at us, particularly in judgment, he does not see our moral fortitude, our moral decisions, our moral culpability. He instead sees Jesus' righteousness, Jesus' holiness. And so we are all holy because Christ has made us holy. We're all being sanctified. We're all being made holy. And then one day we will all actually be holy.
So it seems like you have holy in two senses. You have holy in the sense of righteous, blameless.
Yeah.
And then you have holy in the sense of set apart.
Yeah.
Like Israel was distinct from the rest of the nations. You got to be different. You can't, mark up your skin like the other nations do, right? You can't eat like the other nations do. You're distinct. You're different. And so in that sense, I'm saying, in my illustration, like you're set apart in that. There's all kinds of dishes, right? All kinds of people, but you are my special people.
Yeah.
I've set you apart. You're distinct.
Yeah.
And the china is more beautiful, right? And so it's been made pure or whatever. So in that sense.
No, for sure.
So those two, just those two, like you're holy, meaning you're righteous and set apart.
Yeah, unless you can think of another one.
I can't. I'll just make sure.
Okay. That's like you were like, I was like, hey, I'm open to being more holy.
No, I think that's all I got. So the church is holy.
Yeah, and so this is what I tried to make clear in my sermon is that it's not that the institution of the church is holy. It's that the people that make up the collective have been made holy by Jesus.
Yeah.
And so because I think some people can use this and be like, the church can do no wrong because the church is holy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, it's like, it's not the institute. Like, we're not interested in the institution. We're not interested in.
But even the people can do wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they're declared holy.
Yes. That was going to be the next thing I said. So it's like, we can't just like, it's not like a blank check to just act however we want. And it's also not, I think we can use this when the church does mess up to be like, yeah, but you gotta, it reminds me of, sometimes like in really, fundamental Baptist, you've got this idea that the pastor is like the prophet. He's like God's man, and it's like if he messes up and someone calls him out, anointed. It's like you can't go against God's man.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes when churches mess up and people are trying to call them on it, one of the things the church can kind of do is be like, yeah, but all the good work we're doing, look at all the, all this whatever. You can't really criticize us. And it's like, well, no, that's not actually the case. We're not interested in the institution. We're interested in the people. And even when the people mess up, I don't think anyone really says like, yeah, but I'm actually holy. So
yeah.
So, but yes, it's because we are blameless before God,
legally, declaratively. Yeah. One day, actually.
It's not that we're actually perfect.
Yeah. Yet.
Yeah,
that's good.
And that we're Catholic. We're universal.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So we're all swimming in the same water. Yeah. We're all
okay.
We're all one. This is the 1 Corinthians passage. One faith, one baptism, one Lord, one Spirit. It says that in Ephesians. And so I actually took this out of my sermon and then ended up saying it anyway. It's like there's not a Baptist body of Christ. There's not a Presbyterian body of Christ. There's not a Lutheran body. There's just a body.
Yeah,
it's one body.
Is it Mere Christianity that he talks about like basically one house? And
the house, yeah.
There's a lot of rooms, and you got the Catholics are all in this room, and the Baptists are all in this room, but there's one house. Yeah. Cool. So anything else about just the church? Universal or local?
Well, so I think just on the denominational different stuff is that I think we need to be really careful. We need to be okay with people that are in the house being in different rooms. Like we just need to be okay with people that are Presbyterian. Flesh
that out. What do you mean by okay?
Like we don't need to be like, I gotta go convert my Presbyterian friend.
Okay.
I've got to go convert my Anglican friend, or I've got to go convert my Catholic friend even, potentially. And so I think we can get too bogged down in our denominational distinctives and because it kind of feels like, yes, what kind of team? It's like, kind of feels like we're like a team.
We're on the right team.
Yeah. And so we got to get everyone on our team. And so like a notable Southern Baptist leader just announced that he's going to go become an Anglican, and people have been talking about it. And
they've been mad. Someone
said, I didn't even know the transfer portal was open yet. And it was just funny, but it's like, that's how we think about it. It's like, oh, we lost one of our star players to the Anglicans.
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, like he's just at a different place on baptism and on polity, and that's okay. It's like, I think he's wrong on baptism. I think he's wrong on polity. Yeah. I think he's wrong on how to read the church fathers, which is, I think, probably bold of me to say on a podcast. Don't want to clip this and tweet it, please. But he's not wrong on the gospel.
Right.
And so that's what we care about. And so it's like, that's why I think it's more helpful, to talk about the LDS church. They're not in the house.
Yeah. Mormons.
They're heretics.
Yeah.
And so it's like we need to engage them because they actually get the gospel wrong.
Yeah, they're in a different house.
Yeah.
So let me ask a really difficult question. Because you said of the Anglican, he gets the gospel right. But what about our Catholic friends? So we would say, don't really get the gospel right. We think they're in the house. They don't really get the gospel right. How much should we, of all people, they maybe seem the furthest away, if you will. How should we try to win more of them than not necessarily their Presbyterian brothers?
Gosh, but it's so hard for me. There's so many aspects about Catholicism that's like they're just like they're wrong about, but not in like a heretical way or
they're wrong, just not too wrong.
Yeah, or in like a salvific way. It's like it's like I actually don't think praying to Mary is like a salvific issue.
Yeah, of course.
I just think it's wrong.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to, I think conversations about Catholicism can get bogged down in some of that other stuff, like icon veneration or priestly confession or anything like that. But I also that's one side. But I also, it's like I do believe in justification by faith alone, and I do believe in the book of Galatians, and I do think that Paul seems to suggest the entire premise of the book of Galatians is that believing in things that add to your salvation actually take away from it. It's like Jesus plus something equals nothing at all. And so, but someone said, and I just don't know if I agree with it or not. I have to think through it. It's like, we don't believe in justification by belief in justification.
We believe in justification by faith alone, not in a belief of justification by faith alone.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It's difficult. The Catholic thing really comes down to like an individual basis.
Yeah.
Like I would just have to really sit down and talk to someone. It's like, what do you understand about who Jesus is? What do you understand about how you get into?
Yeah.
By what? It's like Alistair Begg. Like, by what basis are you here?
Yeah.
You know, it's like the man in the middle cross said I could come.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and then they kind of start talking about their works and their all that stuff. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, because when someone does that to me, who's trying to join our church, and they're like, well, I'm trying to be a good person or whatever, I'm like, red flag.
Yeah.
We got to go back over the gospel.
If they say, I've been saved by Jesus, and so then that makes me, or even I think even saying like, so I owe him. Like, I think that's maybe the wrong ethic, but I don't know if it's all right. Well, you're out. Yeah. So it's tricky for me.
Yeah. What's interesting is that this goes both ways. The Catholics maybe more strict, more so on the Catholic side, where they'll talk about us as like, we're not. They don't think we're in the house.
No, for sure.
They're like, because you don't have the priesthood, because you don't go to confession, you're outside.
Oh yeah.
So I think we're more gracious than the Catholics are.
No, I think so too. I think we are open to it. I mean, they do believe the Holy Catholic Church is them.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
Yeah.
Like I think it's multiple denominations.
Yeah.
So the Catholic one's probably the most difficult for me.
That's tough. But you would say Catholics can be saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could go to mass your whole life, live your entire life. And here's the other thing that makes me uncomfortable. Like, I'm not going to say Augustine was not a Christian.
Right. Or St. Francis of Assisi. Or,
yeah. It's like, so that's just really difficult for me.
Yeah. Or
to explain.
Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
or a lot of people throughout church history.
Middle age. I mean, even churches or theologians in the Middle Ages, like Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
It's like and this is the height of the papacy and indulgences and all of these things. And I'm just,
God always has a remnant.
Yeah.
So there's always been a people.
Yeah.
And for a while, it was pretty much just the Catholic. I mean, you got the Orthodox hanging out over there, but it's pretty much the Catholic Church.
And the Walt Disneyans.
That's right. 1100s.
That's 1100s. Yeah. That's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Go look up the Waldensians, not the Walt Disneyans. That's what me and Brent have been saying. The Waldensians are crazy, y'all.
Yeah. The pre-Reformation.
Historical anomaly.
Yep.
They did the Reformation like 400 years before Martin Luther. Cool. Yeah. They're like they're like the Protestant hipsters.
Yep.
They're like, y'all Protestant? I remember when I was Protestant for 400 years ago.
Okay, so then you talk about the communion of saints.
Mm-hmm.
And
so this is really where I think the creed moves from Catholic Church to the local. We've been talking about local church stuff. I think this is where the creed moves from. You have the Holy Catholic Church, that's everyone, into the communion of saints, which is the local church.
Okay. You get this Francis Schaeffer quote. He says, "Our relationship with each other is the criterion the world uses to judge whether our message is truthful. Christian community is the final apologetic." Mm-hmm. You talked a lot about that in the sermon. You talked to me about it beforehand. Talk to me about the world right now and how the church, we talk about apologetics, right? You got the cosmological argument, the teleological argument. You've got all of these arguments for the existence of God, the truthfulness of the resurrection. Talk to me about why is it the case that the church, particularly a local church, is an apologetic, is an argument to the world that Christianity is true?
Okay. I'll do it two ways.
Okay.
In probably the 2nd century, we got this letter from a guy named Diognetus. And this Christian is writing to this guy named Diognetus, telling him why he should become a Christian. Mm-hmm. And what he does not say in the letter to Diognetus, and go read it if It's awesome. It's so good. It gets me jazzed. What he does not say is, look, because I mean, this guy doesn't have the Bible. The Bible's not been, it's not been bound yet.
Yeah.
He's probably just going to a house church. And so what he does not say is like, look at all the prophecies that have been fulfilled in Jesus. Look at all the historical, accuracy of the Bible. Look at the world around you and how it's crafted by a maker or a creator or whatever. He doesn't make any of the sort of apologetic arguments that we make. He says, look at the Christians. And he talks about all the ways that they live counterculturally, and that they look out for everyone except themselves. And it's one of my favorite lines is, they share in all things except their wives.
He says that?
Yeah. Which would have been probably a very common practice in ancient Rome, is sort of just like sharing of sexual partners.
That's funny.
And he says they share in all things except their wives, which is super countercultural. Yeah. They're citizens of no kingdom, yet the greatest citizens of Rome. And so like that they pay their taxes. And so the argument he makes, and I mean, this is in the first century, is all about how they live as a people. And so that has just never changed. I also quoted a guy named Tertullian who lived in like the late 2nd century, who kind of said the same thing, is that our greatest, the thing that makes people want to know Jesus, and the thing that convinces people that the gospel is true, is actually not all those things, all those like great apologetic arguments we talk about. It's actually seeing the work or the life of Christians together. And so the other thing I didn't talk about this, but I wanted to, is there's a very popular book that came out by a sociologist whose name is escaping me, but it's called Bowling Alone. And it's all about how, I referenced it, but all about how the social institutions that we used to have in America are all gone. Like Rotary clubs, like sports teams. So the main metaphor he uses is the bowling team. It's like people still go bowling, but they just go bowl. They're not part of a team. They're not part of a club. They're not part of a tournament circuit. They just go bowl. They go bowl maybe with their family, but all of these other social connections are just being severed left and right. Yeah. And it's like, as our square footage of our houses gets bigger, we don't feel any need to go outside of it. We go to work, we come home, we stay in our house. And so that there's this notion, and people feel the weight of that. Like the social isolation is real. And it's like we could talk to anyone anywhere at any time because of our phones, and yet we still feel so socially isolated. Yeah. No one has 2 a.m., 3 a.m. friends. Like if that's why there's all these like things you can DoorDash or whatever, because it's like if you're sick in your house, you got no one to you can't go out and get medicine for yourself. You just got to DoorDash it. So you can't call up a friend. People don't have friends to call up and go. It's got to be someone that's gonna make a buck off of it, right? And so that we have all this connection, but no, he calls it social capital. We don't have any like stickiness together. And so we're busy. We're doing stuff all the time, but we have no actual like long lasting relationships. And so that's where the church comes in and says, hey, look, like that's not the way it's supposed to be. Like you're supposed to live your life, not in isolation, but in community. And everyone knows that, like on a deep level. Yeah. And so when we come and we show people what that looks like, that it's like, hey, we actually know everything about you. Like I actually know all your sin patterns. I actually know all your habits. And you're going to walk in here and I'm going to give you a hug and I'm going to tell you I love you. And we're going to talk about our favorite sports team. And it's like not going to be weird. I'm not going to care about you any less or treat you any differently. It's like when that's the kind of community we show people, they think, they do think, we often think like, hey, if I go and I don't cuss, right? If I go to work and I don't cuss or whatever, people are going to think something's different about this guy. It's like, no, they're probably just going to think you're like some moral person with like a stick up your butt. But when people see you confess sin
Yeah.
or become vulnerable about the hard things in your life and then see someone else respond to that in care and love and not shying away, but leaning in, then that's what makes people go, there's something different about these people.
But I think also that combined with what you also talked about, that it's, and you talked about this in the first century, this exclusive, inclusive situation where it's not all the white people or all the black people or all the rich people, but it is across racial and language and socioeconomic.
All the political people.
And all, across political lines. It's like, we love our, Republicans and Democrats love each other.
I think that's the think that's the biggest dividing line we see right now. People people outside the church just assume everyone at a church is a Republican. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people in the church assume that to be in the church, you got to be a Republican.
Yeah.
I just bumped my mic. Sorry. And so I think that's probably the number one dividing line we got to get over.
How attractive does it look to the world if they see a body of people who disagree on political matters and yet really love each other?
Like I love the idea of, you have these two guys just arguing about tax policy or, healthcare or whatever. Yeah. And then it's like, good morning, church. And they're like, oh, we're starting, and it's, and they're just shoulder to shoulder, worshiping the same Jesus.
Or just like doing that. Hey, let's go grab some lunch. Yeah. Just like being like, we're cool.
Yeah.
Because we are united by something bigger and greater than this trivial thing.
Because that's the thing that's unifying to people right now. We rally around political causes. That's the most motivating thing to people right now. And so I think the church has a big opportunity, and that I think it's often fumbling. Yeah. To say like, hey, we're actually not unified by this temporary stuff.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
One more thing about that.
Yeah, go for it.
About it being temporary. Me and Darcy actually talked about this when I was prepping for my sermon. I didn't get a chance to use this, but she talked about how especially parents find community in their kids' extracurriculars. So it's like soccer moms, the team moms. Like that's their identity. It's like we're the team moms. Yeah. We've got our group text and we're going out to lunch or like whatever. Like that's their identity. But then it's like that goes away. Like their kids graduate or their kids, and so it's like that sense of community is like actually
gone.
Yeah. And we were thinking it's like there's actually only one community that is eternal.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're
not just this life, but the next.
Yeah. It's like even if you are a professional sports player, it's like, so on the most recent season of Quarterback, they talk about Joe Burrow's mom a lot. It's like, she's like but it's like, she's not always going to be like the quarterback's mom because he's going to retire, and so there's literally nothing. Yeah.
Well, the sports thing's interesting too. I remember in 2020, the country is so divided. There's all these things dividing us. And I remember, you couldn't even go to a football game and people talking about, that year and the next year. It's like, it's just so important. Football brings people together, right? It bring, all across these lines, whatever, it brings people together. And I want to say, yeah, it does for 3 hours. And sometimes not even that long because they get in a fight in the stands.
I should have said this. It's like maybe for 3 hours once a week. Yeah. It's like, but that's not eternal. Like that's not going to last you very long. Yeah. So why do we think that we can get together for 1 hour once a week and it's going to matter?
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. The telos. Tell me about the telos.
The purpose. You're the one that told me to do this. No. I was like, should I change it? And you were like, nah, just do
There's no other word.
Just do the Greek.
It's such a good word.
It is such a good word. The purpose, the goal, the aim.
The end.
The climax. Yeah. And so why are we doing the answer to the why? Why are we doing this? And I tried to write this section and just like kind of sum it up, And then I was just like, there's actually nothing better than the picture of Revelation 7. When you have every tribe, every tongue, every nation gathered in front of the throne and they're singing and the angels are singing and the elders are singing and they're bowing on their faces saying salvation belongs to our God. And so I think it just relates back to what I was saying earlier, is that this is God's plan A, is to redeem for himself a people. And then the purpose of the church is actually for us to just be together across every dividing line we could think of and glorify God for redeeming us. Salvation belongs to
Mm-hmm.
to our God. So salvation belongs to the Lord. Our Redeemer, it's like he's the one who did it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's it's really just the same image, but we get a literal picture of like, hey, when you wake up on a Sunday morning and you feel really tired,
Mm-hmm.
and getting your kids out of bed is like going to be hard.
Yeah.
And getting them dressed is going to be hard. Just remembering this scene, I think is like, oh, but I do want a taste of that.
Mm.
And I think it's a motivator.
Yeah.
And it gives us a high view of what the church is. It's not just like the YMCA or whatever. It's not just the Rotary Club or the Leo Club or
and it's
whatever.
interesting that when you're connected to a church and you're even on vacation and you feel that little ache of missing it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, that tells you something.
Darcy was kind of like, not making fun of me. She's like, what are you doing? When we were at kids camp, because we were like picking up our kids from their small group or something. I had my AirPod in. Mm-hmm. She was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm listening to Brent. I was like, I couldn't just like not. Yeah, I had to just like check in, And so I just wanted to know what songs we were singing. It's like there was just part of me that's like I have to be there. Yeah. I have to be aware.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. Yeah. Right.
Okay. Let's do some questions. We're going long. So
rapid fire.
Rapid fire. What does it mean when Jesus calls Peter the rock, and on this rock I will build my church?
Peter the rock, John's son. That's his name.
That's true.
What do you think? I think we disagree on this.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What does he mean on this rock? What is he referring to when he says the rock? On this rock I will build my church.
Peter?
You think it's Peter?
I don't remember. What did I say last time?
Oh, most Protestants are like trying to guard against being Catholic Pope, and Peter being the Pope or whatever. And so they say it's like Jesus is actually talking about himself, which I just conveyed with much grace and truth, their position. No, but I think he's obviously talking about Peter. He just calls him rock.
Yeah.
And then he says
his name.
Yeah. And then he says on this rock. So, and so it's a reference to Peter. I think it's a reference to Pentecost, the future reality of Pentecost, that Peter is going to preach and that many are going to be saved.
The first sermon that makes the first converts.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Some people say it's on that declaration. It's like on this rock, on what you just said. I'm open to that too. I think saying that Jesus is somehow talking about himself is
a stretch.
It's stretching the text a bit too far.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay.
All right.
Al Mohler says it's Jesus.
Wow.
I'm like, bro, you're too scared to be Catholic.
Okay. We kind of talked about this one, so I'm going to skip that a little bit.
Okay.
So is it an already not yet reality? Is it the church? Is the church an already not yet reality? Are we part of a universal gathering today in a figurative way? Because we will one day be a part of the universal gathering of all the children of God, all time, all specific time in the future. So is the universal church, let me rephrase the question. Mm-hmm. Is the universal church an already not yet reality? Is it figurative or is it literal? Is it literally now or figuratively now?
I don't like the term figurative.
Okay.
Or literal.
You don't like either term. What term would you use?
Supernatural. Like we're supernaturally one in a way that defies, because we are all in Christ, we are all one in a way that is not natural, right? Like not one physical gathering. It's not, but I don't think it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's.
I don't have a problem saying it's literal.
Yeah, I maybe it is literal.
Because I would say Ephesians 2 talks about us. It says, right now we are gathered in the heavenly places in Christ.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like that's true of us right now.
Yeah,
because we're in Christ, we're there with Him.
Yeah, but I also, the already not yet thing. I think I would say yes, already not yet, just in the sense that we aren't all gathered together in a singular place at a singular time. That's the only thing that's not yet.
Yeah.
Everything else is already.
We're not physically all together at the same time. But we
will be one day.
Yeah, and we're all already a part of that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can you be a part of the universal church and not be part of a local church? Which is more important?
I can name one. I think I could probably name one person who's part of the universal church and wasn't part of a local church.
Who?
Jesus.
Okay.
So
Possible, not good if not.
So I definitely think it's possible. I don't think it's good or wise or obedient. I think the Bible tells us to gather together. Don't neglect gathering together. It's like, one, it's just better for you if you want to be strictly like individualistic, but it's like, it's also better for all the people that you're gathering with for you to be there.
Yeah. If you're not, the question is, why aren't you?
Yeah.
Now, if you're homebound, you're incapable of getting there, that's different.
But you should try with every fiber of your being to be there.
Live stream a substitute for a church?
No.
No.
Not gathering together.
Yeah. Bodily gathering where embodied people be there present. Be present.
Physically. It's like all these churches that are like selling their buildings so they can do like VR church.
Don't do it.
Yeah, that's real. Or like they only live stream. They like bought a studio. Isn't that crazy?
Don't do it. So which is more important?
More important. The universal church.
Yeah.
Because I think you
technically can belong to that and not the other, but it's not good.
I don't think you can.
You can't belong to local you can.
I think you can.
You can belong to local and not the universal.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. It's like you could, present yourself as a believer in every conceivable way to another party and actually just not believe. And they could admit you into membership but you actually just don't believe. And you're not part of the universal. So I think it's more important to be part of the universal church.
Yeah.
Salvifically of.
Is it the universal or local church that is the body of Christ?
Yes.
But would you not say it's technically the universal church because the local church is a mixed body technically right now? Even if unintentionally? Yeah,
but I think it is actually talked about, that metaphor is actually talked about in both ways.
Okay.
Is that I think it's in Romans, Paul uses this metaphor talking about gifting. And I think, and it's like, have many members, and the eye cannot say to I think that's particularly local. But there are other places where it talks about the body of Christ, and it means the universal. Or Christ is the head.
So there's a sense in which an unbeliever can be a part of the local body of Christ.
I would not say it that way.
I'm saying in the sense that they are part of the body and they're functioning, they're serving, they're helping out, they're there. And they think they're a believer or they're claiming to be one, but at the end he'll say, I never knew you.
No, I would still say no.
But they're not part of it, even though they're a member. So they're just like...
I think I would say that.
Yeah.
Because I think Jesus is actually the
they're a part of it in the sense that they're on the roll. They're just not actually a part of it.
Yeah. Not in the book of life. Jesus got the real role.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, last question.
But that's tricky. But I would also just be like, by what basis would we be saying on earth a person who's on a church roll that's actively serving? It's like, but like, why would we ever doubt that?
Well, not that we would doubt, just that technically.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Is Abraham or any Old Testament person who's a believer a member of the church?
Yes.
All right.
Here's the real fascinating question. We may not have time for this, but were they always? I think that's actually the more interesting question. It's like, I think they are now. Yeah.
The question is, when did the church?
Were they always?
When did the church come into existence?
Yeah, that's a great question.
When would you say?
Like, on one hand, I think I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too, which seems normal. It's like, if I have a cake, I should be able to eat it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to say, in a more general sense, right? The church is the people of God. It's existed since creation itself. But it's like, I think in the sense that Jesus established a new kind of people, right? That Pentecost, like the outpouring of the Spirit, the indwelling of the Spirit. Maybe, I don't know.
Somewhere between the resurrection and Pentecost?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Anything else?
I don't know. I don't know. There's lots to talk about, lots to think about,
Oh, yeah.
And one thing I love about talking about the church is you get all these sort of different schools of thought. You like these, you got to think about history. You got to think about the Bible. You got to think about theology, right? And it's sort of all these things intertwined. Yeah. And that's what's so important about the church is that it's not just about like all these things we've been talking about in the Apostles' Creed, all about who God is and what he's done. But it's like now we're entering, like we, the people of God, are entering the arena. Yeah. And that brings a ton of baggage, with it. And so thinking about these things, talking about these things, admitting where we've been, I'm going to probably listen to this podcast in 5 years and be like, why the heck would I say that? It's like learning about these things is just super important and super fun.
And I'd say one big takeaway is like, this is not a topic that's like, that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Nothing. This is nothing buttery.
This is like hard. Mm-hmm. This is like you said, you got history, theology, Bible, like all these categories to think about, and to form your opinion. And when you think about the creed, we all believe in the creed. All denominations believe that there's a big
Holy
church,
Catholic church
and the little church. Mm-hmm. We believe more than that, and we disagree about things about the church. Different denominations do, but we all believe that there is a church, and so we have great unity around that. Yeah, and even though our differences. All right. Thanks for joining us for the recap. I hope this conversation has encouraged you to keep striving to make Jesus essential in every aspect of your life. If you aren't a part of our church family, we'd love to have you on a Sunday morning. We gather for worship at 10:30 a.m. For more information, you can go to myfellowship.church. Thanks for being with us. Be blessed.